Alright, this is where we're going to start today. This cuttlefish changes skin color and makes the stripes move. What is that an example of? Obtaining food, a mating display, releasing scent, or guarding young. What do you think? Anybody?
A mating display.
Mating display is correct. B. The objective of sexual reproduction is to create offspring that are identical, create offspring to feed predators, waste energy, create offspring that have variation from parents. Anybody?
A.
No. D. Create offspring that have variation from parents.
Well, aren't they identical because they have the same DNA?
No, they are not. Are you identical to your mom and dad?
Yeah.
Think again.
JR, you're so
No.
lost.
Do animals have reproductive strategies to ensure some of their young will survive to adulthood?
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Giraffes bear one calf at a time. The mother tends to it for up to a year. Giraffes are K-selected. True or false?
False. Wait.
K-selected is a lot of parental. R-selected is no parental care.
That's
Let me see, how far am I supposed to get today?
We're just gonna ignore
90
the
seconds.
stick
Okay.
man in the corner.
Wood ducks lay 6 to 15 eggs per year and give parental care. What type of selection strategy is this? A, B, or C? What do you think, Nevaeh? C. It shows traits of both because a lot of eggs, but they still care for them with their parents, so it's a little bit of both. Male peacocks have extreme plumage, like really fancy feathers. What is the purpose of the feathers? Individual survival, protecting young, attract a mate, defend from predators.
C.
C, attract a mate.
Can't their feathers defend from predators? So I get
Requirement number 2, fertilization. In animals, fertilization can be internal or external. That is, the sperm meets the egg either inside the body or outside the body of the female. If sperm dries out, it dies. So aquatic, animals that live in the water, can have external fertilization because the sperm will be surrounded by water. Land animals had to overcome this problem. They did so by depositing sperm inside the female's body, internal fertilization. Nearly all of these release sperm and egg in the water to find a mate. That is fish, amphibians, and any aquatic life. The male and female still stay near each other during the release to ensure the sperm finds the eggs. Whoops. Animals that do not move, like clams, sponges, and mussels, release sperm and eggs at a seasonal signal. So literally when the water is like a certain temperature, they just know to release the sperm and egg at that time. When the water reaches a certain temperature or during a full moon, they all release their sperm and eggs. Why is it important for them to release at the same time?
So they can all go out at the same time.
Yes, so they can all meet at the same time, yes. Mollusks and crustaceans. Mollusks include squid, octopi, and snails. Crustaceans include crabs and lobsters. These are complex invertebrates that have internal fertilization. So inside the female's body is where fertilization occurs. Insects, spiders, reptiles, and birds, and mammals. All of these land animals have evolved a method to have internal fertilization. These firebugs attach abdomens. The male deposits sperm inside the female. Requirement number 3, create the offspring. The development of the offspring can be internal or external. So if we're talking about laying eggs, that would be external. If we're talking about inside the female's body is where the baby develops, that's internal. For a vast majority of animals, it's external in the form of an egg, and only mammals have internal development. Not fertilization, but development. Aquatic reptile eggs. Aquatic animals have membranes around their eggs. If the egg dries out, it'll die. There is little chance of that if it's in the water. Reptiles have a pliable, kind of like a squishy, if you will, leathery egg. Most reptiles make their nests underground. More eggs survive if they do not have rigid shells. So why are their shells squishy? Why are they not hard and firm? What do you think,
They
Gunnar?
don't get crushed.
So they don't get crushed. They can put a ton of them in this one space and they can all fit in there together. If they had a really like breakable shell, you put all those eggs in there, they'd be cracking. But because they have a little bit of give and they're a little squishy, you can get a bunch of them in that nest that they lay in the ground. Yes?
I thought it was like the egg is supposed to have, it's supposed to be, the shell is supposed to be a protective layer.
It is. It doesn't, but if it was very hard and rigid, it would crack. Because this has a little bit of give to it, it doesn't bust when another egg is next to it.
And the only reason birds do it is because they're mostly safe from most predators.
Right, they're up in a nest, they're by themselves, and typically they're only going to lay how many at a time? 3,
Like
2,
4.
but reptiles could put 100 eggs in the nest.
How many can a snake do?
100.
A bunch,
A
yes.
lot.
Yes,
And then they just go, okay,
Yes.
you guys figure this out.
Especially since
Yeah, and then
they're
they
small
leave.
eggs.
right.
Okay, you guys figure this out. on your own.
Birds lay rigid, hard-shelled eggs. Birds must tend to them, meaning they have to sit on that nest, okay? And they also give parental care to once the birds are born. They bring food back to the nest and feed them until they're old enough to fly on their own. Most baby birds are helpless and featherless. Some birds are called precocious, meaning that as soon as they're born, they can walk and feed themselves and take care of themselves. Ducks, chickens, and swans are examples. So once they've just hatched, 5 days old, they're out on the water taking care of themselves.
You're fine.
Tending to offspring means different things for different animals. Parenting begins with the building a den or a nest for many animals. These animal homes will keep the young warm and protect them from predators. We got a couple bird nests and then a beaver dam. Feeding. Animals that give parental care feed their young. Birds have evolved. Oh, what happened there? Birds have evolved to respond to their young's open beak by regurgitating food. So they literally puke the food back up in the
Yummy.
baby's mouth. I know.
Would
Yum.
you like a hamburger? Thumbs up.
And then we have mammals. Mammals give the most parental care of all species. Fertilization and development is internal inside the female's body. Mammals have mammary glands, which produce milk for their young. Mammals feed, groom, and teach their young how to survive. Parents protect their offspring. Parents must protect their offspring from predators in dangerous situations. Birds will mob a predator to protect their young. These crows are chasing a hawk who might eat their young. Herding animals often keep their young to the inside of the herd. I think we got a couple videos here to watch. If they'll work today, we'll see.
Yeah, work, please. Don't be a meathead.
We're about to see places.
We're about to watch.
Play.
Kleiner Junge, Henrich, kauf mich. Nein,
Oh, crap.
zu spät.
Rhino.
He's going. He's out.
Halt drauf. Jetzt verteidigt das nur. Halt drauf.
Ich mach die ganze Zeit.
Das gibt es nicht. Und die anderen sind weg. Die Mutter kämpft alleine.
Guck mal,
Jetzt ist Schluss.
guck mal, jetzt kommt er von der anderen Seite.
Goddamn.
Oh no, it's taking
Now watch this.
Oh my God.
Play the game, I already told you. They're like, yeah, no, that was a good game.
What?
Good.
Squad
Fighting.
kill.
Unbelievable.
The young one was sticking with the lion.
There's a big lion now. Come on.
Get him.
MVP.
Come on, you.
Oh, look at that assist. Oh, they're pulling up on him.
Man, sometimes it's life can be so cruel.
Sometimes rhinos get to play the game instead of lions. Alright, here's another one. Yay. Play of the game.
The baby elephant. Is that a well? Was that a well?